Support for the Leadoff on WGLT and WGLT.org comes from the Central Illinois Regional Airport. The airport team strives to make air travel accessible to all through the Sunflower program, allowing individuals to self-identify when they need more assistance. More on the Hidden Disability Sunflower program at CIRA.com.
Senator Dick Durbin will be in the spotlight at the Democratic Convention as he contemplates his political future. It's one of the things you need to know to start your day for Monday, July 29th. I'm Ryan Denham, and this is WGLT's The Leadoff. Now let's lead off with the city of Bloomington, getting nearly 70 responses to a survey about problems downtown. WGLT's Charlie Schlenker reports.
Bloomington City Manager Jeff Juergen says the police department is working through the details of the survey of downtown business and property owners. The city had polled them about nuisance behavior in the downtown.
A couple of potentials are an increased police presence in our downtown, having some more visible law enforcement.
Something else could be more visible, too.
We already have a variety of public safety cameras in downtown. One of the ideas we've talked about is ensuring that those cameras are more visible, so it's clear that there are cameras and that people are on video as a hopeful deterrent for bad behavior.
Juergen says the city had an abbreviated process for the survey.
We wanted this quick, so we put the survey out there. It gave a few days for a response. I know we did several follow-ups to make sure we could get as many responses as we could, but we were very happy with the response we received.
Now the city is getting ready for the start of the fall term at Illinois Wesleyan and Illinois State Universities.
We welcome the students back and look forward to their return.
Juergen says the police department has the data and will form an action plan. For the Leadoff, I'm Charlie Schlenker.
Here's some other stories we're following in the WGLT newsroom. Central Illinois has a new homelessness services leader. McLean County Center for Human Services in Bloomington has taken over as the lead for the region's continuum of care aimed at ending homelessness. The agency's CEO, Joan Hartman, says one of her primary goals is to reconnect with counties who've been previously less active. The Bloomington-Normal area has added around 900 jobs in the past year, according to new data from the Illinois Department of Employment Security. The local jobless rate climbed to 5.3% in June. That's up about a point from a year ago. A handful of residents at the Phoenix Towers public housing building in downtown Bloomington are organizing. Leaders of the tenants union say their goal is to get recognized by the Federal Department of Housing and Urban Development. Roger Bedeker, a State Farm employee, says he's running for Bloomington City Council in Ward 9 next spring. Bedeker says he'll focus on reducing taxpayer burden, promoting economic development, addressing aging infrastructure, and keeping residents safe. That ward is on the northeast side of Bloomington. Tom Crumpler currently represents it. And Illinois' new quantum research campus will be built on the southeast side of Chicago on the site of a former steel mill. California-based Psi Quantum will be the anchor tenant. The state is offering a lot of incentives, $300 million to build out the campus and $200 million for Psi Quantum itself, as long as it invests at least $1 billion and maintains over 150 jobs. You can find more on these stories at WGLT.org. The last time Chicago hosted a Democratic National Convention, Dick Durbin found himself in the spotlight as a rising candidate for U.S. Senate. Now, nearly 30 years later, Illinois' senior senator once again will be the focus at the upcoming Democratic Convention as he contemplates his future. WBEZ's Dave McKinney has more.
In August of 1996, Durbin was crowded with other convention delegates on the United Center floor where months earlier Michael Jordan had won an NBA title and Durbin had control of the microphone.
And now, on the home court of the four-time world champion Chicago Bulls.
As chair of Illinois' convention delegation, Durbin was a hot political commodity and got the ceremonial job of pledging the state's delegates to the Democrats' presidential nominee.
Illinois proudly cast all 193 votes for the husband of our very own Hillary Rodham Clinton, our president and the next president of the United States, William Jefferson Clinton.
It was then Congressman Durbin's first U.S. Senate campaign, and he went on to win his race in a blowout. Now, in his 28th year, Durbin is somewhere in the back end of a distinguished political career as Chicago hosts another political convention. He's in a different phase of his career, not a moment of political ascension as before. Durbin's re-election plans are a local subplot for this convention, and there's no shortage of potential successors studying his every word to suss out what comes next for him in 2026. But Durbin has some advice for anyone pining for his job. Cool your heels.
I'll make up my mind and decide whether I'm going forward or not after the first of the year. And the people on the bench then have to make the decisions accordingly.
He'll be the longest-serving U.S. Senator in Illinois history at the end of this term. And Durbin's approaching his 80th birthday this fall, insisting he's in good shape after undergoing hip and knee replacement surgeries. While questions about age and mental acuity ended the re-election bid of his friend, President Joe Biden, Durbin does not believe there should be an upper age limit to public service.
If we're going to be fair, we should judge individuals on their own performance.
After major moments in his career, Durbin still has important legislative fires he's stoking, like ethics reforms for the U.S. Supreme Court and tighter oversight over airline carriers and their use of credit cards linked to frequent flyer programs. Earlier, Durbin oversaw the confirmation of the first black woman on the nation's highest court, but over his long House and Senate career that dates back to the Reagan era, Durbin says his top legislative accomplishment is banning smoking on airline flights. The law was born from watching his father die at age 53 after years of chronic smoking, and was an important milestone towards stamping out smoking in public places.
People kind of stepped back and said the obvious. Wait a minute, if this isn't safe on an airplane, why is it safe on a train or a bus or a hospital or a office building? And the next thing you know, the dominoes started tumbling, and we took all the smoking away in most circumstances.
Durbin took over the seat held by his political mentor, U.S. Senator Paul Simon, and Durbin recalls the late senator telling him about the importance of integrity in public service.
He said, I want people, even if they disagree with my vote and think I'm completely stupid, to believe I'm honest. I did it for the right reasons. And I guess the first thing you should hope for is that people respect you for your honesty.
Whether retirement is looming or still well off in the future, Durbin hopes that's how he'll be judged when people take stock of his political legacy. This is Dave McKinney.
Before we let you go, ISU will be hosting another concert on the Quad tonight, starting at 7, featuring artists from Mio Opera, performing favorites from Broadway and operatic stages. And that's it for today. I'm Ryan Denham. The show was produced by Rosalie Truback. You can subscribe to The Leadoff on the NPR app or wherever you get your podcasts.